Hello everybody, I am Sam, I'm here with Darian.
Hello.
You're listening to a round of games featuring Sam and Darian, that is us.
Yep.
That is me, that is him.
Yes.
We are coming to the end of January very rapidly here.
Super quick.
First month of 2019 almost over. I'm happy, actually. I'm quite glad.
Yeah.
Because the end of the month is what we were waiting for, really. A couple of high-profile releases. And I feel like it's sort of come and gone, or come up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it hasn't dragged or anything. It's just gone super quick.
Yeah.
Just kind of neat.
I think it's also helped with, like, sort of getting stuff from last year. Like, finishing up a lot of things there. I'll get to it. Like Game of the Year type thingies, and like that's helped out a lot. We've had a couple of weekends so far and they've gone by pretty quick as usual. And yeah, man, so like 2018, how was it, other than super quickly, how did it go for you in terms of games and stuff that you'd actually played?
2018 was alright. Still nowhere near as much as I'd like to, but then I look back at like a list I made of like what stuff I'd played. And you know what? I actually finished quite a lot. And like I looked at some of the like lists and like Final Fantasy 15 was a big one. That was like 50 odd hours I put into that in 2018. Like Mario Odyssey right at the beginning of 2018, I like picked up that and played it and like 100% did that. So don't know how many hours I dumped into that, but I think it was like 40 odd.
Oh, there wasn't a timer, was there?
No.
I suppose you could use the Switch thing.
Yeah.
The playtime, but it's not accurate. Like.
I think it was around that time. That was long. Yeah, I played a bunch of stuff. Platinumed more. This year I've platinumed more games than I've ever platinumed. I think I got like 6.
This year?
Sorry. Last year, it's gonna give me like 2-3 months and then I'll stop. Yeah, last year I think I got the most plats, because I think I'm only sitting on like 11, 12 at the minute. And like last year I got like 6. So
oh wow. So
yeah,
half of the ones that you got in total last year.
So that was pretty neat.
That was like what, 13? Final Fantasy 15.
Yep. 3 Spyros.
Oh yeah.
Donut County.
Right, yeah.
And probably another one that I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to remember. Yeah, and the coolest thing, I guess, gaming-wise, I did last year was, well, the 2 coolest things. One was Sonic Team started, so we finished a bunch of those games together, and that feels kind of nice.
Yeah.
So that's super fun. But probably the biggest gaming highlight for me last year, in terms of like backlog or something I played, was probably MGS4. Like,
that's right, we did that around E3 time.
Yeah, like I did MGS3
wise
as well. The second half.
Did you?
The second half of it, yeah.
The second quarter.
It was literally half.
The fourth
that
quarter.
game had so much left.
Nah, there wasn't that much.
There was so much.
I basically gave it to you. You watched the last cutscene and it was ended.
I don't get why you always exaggerate that part. But yeah, MGS3 was like really cool, but like play in MGS4 around E3 time, well, at E3 time in its entirety was super cool. Experiencing that was surreal, especially because I had no spoilers going in ever. I didn't even know what the game looked like.
Yeah, considering you played it 10 years after it had come out.
Yeah, like
almost to the day, actually.
Yeah?
Or no, you started it on the day it came out, wasn't it? The 12th, and that was around E3 time. I think we tried to do it in one sitting, but we couldn't, and then we had to finish it the day after. Or
yeah, it was like the day after.
Day or two after. But yeah, so yeah, 10 years after the fact, and you hadn't been spoiled on anything from it?
I somehow didn't know what anything looked like. I didn't even know the interface, what that looked like. I barely knew what Snake looked like. I just knew he was old because I had seen like maybe like a screenshot of him in somewhere.
That makes sense, yeah.
But it didn't click with me fully, so
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was completely in the dark about that game, luckily. So I got to experience that properly. Didn't know about half the crazy shit that happens. The lore dump was insane. And I have found myself quite a few times, especially towards the end of 2018, just thinking like, huh, a lot happened in MGS4, didn't it? That was a good game.
Yeah, we'll get to it because we'll end up playing and recording that again.
Yeah, for sure.
At some point. Well, it's not going to be soon.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's cool. We got 3 to go through first.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Any other like sort of gaps in your gaming history that you tied up last year?
I mean, I played Tomb Raider 2013 again, and that felt kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Like I had done that before, but this time I 100%ed it, and that felt kind of nice to do. And then getting the that's the other one, Burnout Paradise. That was the 6th plat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, see that game came out in like March or something, May last year. So one of those.
Yeah.
And like, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now.
It is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was fun. That was a good remaster.
Yeah, it really, really, really was.
Yeah,
I think that was about it for me. My obviously personally biggest gaming highlight was hitting plat in League. That is like, damn, that's a super crazy good achievement. Like, I looked at it the other day. Actually, I'm now in the top 8% of people. That's kind of good.
Yeah. Top 8% of all players.
Of all players, yeah.
How many players are there?
Millions. Literally millions.
Yeah, but if there was 8 million players,
yeah,
you're still within the top. How many other people are there? How many would that be? 80,000?
Yeah?
That's a lot of people.
No, it'd be 800,000.
That's even more.
Yeah. Fuck off, I'm good at the game, right?
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
I don't know. All of the platinums that I got last year, I think, were from bigger, like longer games.
Yeah.
Well, Donut County aside.
Yeah.
Like the...
Was that a remote?
TV remote, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the platinums I got were like Ni no Kuni 2, Spider-Man, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of like bigger, longer games.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Spider-Man is basically just do everything. There's nothing like special you have to do outside of that. But like the fact that I didn't have as much time as I would have done years ago.
Yeah.
To play this stuff, and like credit to Ni no Kuni for like making me want to stay and continue and do all that other stuff. Yes. Some of those are it's not hard. It's just like kind of long and grindy. Not in the same way that like the first game was, which is like you had to kind of grind in order to finish the actual game. The last boss was super hard. But this is like it's just grinding out the optional dungeons and stuff to get through those to get that trophy. But I really enjoyed my time with it, and we'll get to that in my Game of the Year discussion a little later on. But I think yeah, I enjoyed like a lot of the stuff that came out last year. There were some really big games that I missed, which I am kind of bummed out about. Ones that I didn't allow myself to have on any of my Game of the Year stuff because I hadn't played it. That includes like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Dragon Quest XI or any of the Spyro remastered games. It's like Spyro, I could probably have done like at least one of those before finalizing the list, but I wanted to get it done by today. But like, there's no way I'd be able to finish Assassins or Dragon Quest. Like those are like 100 plus, maybe 200 plus hour games, and I didn't want to put in, say, like 5 or even 10 hours of the game and say like, oh, I played enough of it, so I can put it on here now. It's like, no, that's not really like, I would have put in the time for an opinion on it, but it's not going to cut it for like the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So I left those, and they will be played at some point. I've got Odyssey and I've got Dragon Quest. It's just kind of where priorities lie at the moment, and considering what upcoming stuff is, on the horizon, I'm not going to worry about those too much just yet. Actually, Assassin's Creed's a bit weird because that's the latest one, and I've been replaying through the series. When did we play Assassin's Creed 1?
We finished that over E3 time.
Was it last year?
Oh shit! I finished Inside as well.
Oh yeah, I did that in one sitting.
I didn't add that to my list. And Titanfall 2.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Forgot about those. Yeah.
But yeah, we finished Assassin's Creed then, the first game. But I think we started it the year before. Or was it earlier that year?
It was the end of the year before.
Okay. So yeah, like basically throughout all of last year, I played through Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and most of Black Flag. But then when it glitched out, I got frustrated and went straight onto the Rogue Remaster.
Yep.
So like that's the current game the Assassin's game I'm on. And I got the edition of Odyssey that comes with the season pass, so I'm just waiting for that remaster of 3 to come out, so I'll move on to that afterwards. And then continue on with the games in the series, but it's going to be a little while before I actually get to Odyssey, and I'm kind of okay with that. I'm hoping that it takes a year off this year as well. I'd be super down if they put out a new Watch Dogs game. But I don't know, we're not ready to talk about predictions and stuff for this year yet. But yeah, so I played a bunch of Assassin stuff last year, and that was cool. Let's see what else. I think I replayed the majority of the Batman games again. We did Asylum last year, wasn't it?
No,
that might have been the year before. Okay, yeah. So we haven't done City yet, but I did. I played that remaster of City, and I played a chunk of Night as well. That's a very good game. But yeah, like a lot of my, when we talk about my game of the year list, that'll be most of my stuff from last year, I think. At least the ones that hit me the most. But yeah, there's still a few that are unfinished or ones that I want to continue clean up with.
I finished, I can't remember, the reason I'm hesitating is I can't remember if I mentioned this last podcast or not. I think I did, actually. I think I mentioned finishing World of Light.
I think you did.
Yeah?
I think
I did. I mentioned, sorry, I apologise. I definitely mentioned that last podcast. But yeah, like this year now, like I've finished that, and I've been streaming a bunch, and I've been playing through a lot of Dark Souls.
Oh yeah.
And that game, so going into it, like I had played it before, but like only like an hour or something on my PC. PC's a toaster, like it just weren't the best way to play it, so I stopped. Now I've like started again like years later and playing it properly. Going into it, I know that game has like a massive fan base, massive cult following, you know? People love fucking Dark Souls. I knew it was hard, but I didn't quite get it, like why everyone loved it so much. And then about, I think it was 7 or 8 I was into it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's like, yeah, it's crazy hard. I'm actually up to 104 deaths now. It's been rough. There've been a lot of tough moments, but I get it. The game is good. The series is probably incredible. I might be in a little deeper than I thought I'd even get in. I'm like, as we speak, I am actually itching to play more of it. It's stupid. It's like, it's so hard, and the combat is so like difficult that when you actually achieve something, it feels so satisfying. And it feels like out of the 104 deaths, maybe like 20 of them have been cheap, kind of, oh well fuck, I know not to do that, you know, it's like trial and error stuff. But the other 80 have just been flat out like, get good, son. Get good. You shouldn't have like done that, or you shouldn't have rolled, or, you know, you need to pay more attention than that. It just feels good. The game is great. I can't wait to play more, and I can't wait to move on to like future titles like Dark Souls 2, 3, even Bloodborne. You know, like, man, I'm excited to play them all. It's great, and like streaming it has made it really fun as well. Especially talking to like some of the guys who have like, you know, they love Dark Souls themselves.
Yeah.
So they're like talking to me about it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's a lot of fun. It really is. I can see it being Marmite though, because I've actually talked to a few other streamers as well who've like, because after my stream I like raid another streamer from the Croft Nation community, and then like they'll be like, oh, how'd your stream go? And I'll be like, yeah, I played Dark Souls, and like I've had it 2 or 3 times now. I've been like, yeah, I've tried Dark Souls, like I couldn't get into it. And I get that mindset. I get it. It's a Marmite game. It's like you play it and you either get into it and like adapt to the controls and like the slow and like the very punishing combat, or it's one of the things where you just decide, I don't want to spend time like, you know, getting good at it, or like this isn't my type of thing.
Yeah. And
that's kind of cool. And I think that's what, because I talked to you about it a bit, and I think that's where like,
that's basically what I said.
Yeah, where you laid. So, but
I think Sean bought it again on Switch.
He bought it again. Yeah, I was talking to him the other day. He was just like, after he popped in my stream on Friday.
Yeah.
Like Friday night, and then Saturday morning he messaged me after watching you, I'm buying it on Switch, and I was just like, wait, the trilogy's out, and he's just like, not until March, and I was like, oh, and he was just like, so fuck it, buying it on Switch now, and then I'll buy the trilogy in March.
That makes sense.
And then yesterday I played like 1 game of League with him, and then he was like, right, I'm gonna go play Dark Souls. I don't think I saw him again until like 11 PM. So I think he's spammed a lot of it. He loves Dark Souls though.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how it holds up on Switch as well. He played a lot of that game on PC, so it'd be cool to see how it holds up against like what his memories of the PC version are.
Yeah, I want to know when he plays it portable as well, like how it is.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'll have to ask him next time he's down.
That's cool. He can use that amiibo on it as well, but
oh yeah,
it might be good if he keeps it in the box.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can actually buy it anymore, but
have you seen the collector's edition for Dark Souls Trilogy?
Yeah.
Oh, so
you should probably buy that. It's only like 400 quid.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I was gonna say, Sean, you love Dark Souls so much, just get it, get it. And then I saw the price tag, and I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, how much did we pay for the 15 one? That was only like 180, wasn't it?
Oh, the Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Collector's edition was 180, 190.
That's actually really good value.
I was thinking that the other day actually, because I was thinking like that's like half the price of a console, like the limited console that come out, and that kind of sucks.
I think when you like put into perspective of that, like the Dark Souls collector's edition, you could get a brand new console.
Yeah, like a limited edition console that makes it look all pretty and it comes with a copy of the game and stuff. But I don't really know what comes with this collector's edition. It's like a little statue or something.
Quite a beefy statue. It looks like.
Okay.
The complete OST across 3 games.
That's cool.
Probably some art book.
They are selling an art book separately. I'm not sure what version of it is or how much, but they are re-putting out a Dark Souls art book. I don't know if it's a trilogy or whatever either, but you'd think so.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth the price tag that it is, but
like no collector's editions really do.
I think
most
the
of the
15
time.
one was. We got a lot. We got the game, the film, the anime, the soundtrack, that figure.
It wasn't
massive.
It wasn't the whole soundtrack, was it?
It was a selective one, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think that was a Blu-ray one.
But still, like, getting the game...
Was there an art book?
The film...
I think it was a super thin art book, though.
No, it was thick, dude. The art book's really thick.
Okay.
Yeah, and the figure's, like, super expensive because play arts, wasn't it?
Yeah, they are usually expensive.
Yeah. So,
I don't like the look of them, but whatever.
Yeah, so I'm like, that was actually really good value. Whereas... for what you get with the Dark Souls one, I don't think it is. But then also like
It does come with 3 games.
Yeah, but the like base is like 50 quid for the 3 games.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
buy all of them pre-owned, just like a tenner each.
Yeah, literally. The other thing I was going to say is at least, and again, it's not charging you $100. Don't know why I said dollars. Turning American. And it's not charging you like £150 for collector's edition, and then you don't get the game.
Oh yeah, it's not published by EA.
That's the stupidest thing. Didn't Resi do that though? Resi 7.
Yeah, there's a house one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the awesome
the model
looking
of the house,
and you're just like, this is cool, and just like game sold separately, and you're like, well, what's
yeah, I don't think the collector's edition of Resi 2 does that. I think I'm pretty sure it comes with the game.
Oh my god, the Resi 2 one, typewriter, which is an actual keyboard
for like a USB keyboard.
Yeah, it's a proper keyboard, but it's in the style of typewriter.
That'd be a nightmare to use.
Yeah, but it looks cool. and then also a really nice like box of like 4 keys that you get in the game.
Oh, cool.
It's really cool, and an ink ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool collectors, just expensive.
How much is it?
I think when I saw it, it was 200. I think.
Okay.
Maybe 180. I will check. But yeah, collector's editions sucks.
They're hit and miss.
But they're cool. Yeah.
Like I think the I bought that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 one. That comes with the game, the steelbook, a gigantic art book, a soundtrack selection CD. I can't remember if it has the season pass or not with it. I think I may have bought that separately. But like that was like 80 quid, which is cool.
Yeah, but I remember you showing me that still to me is like a good
and the art book is floppy, but it's one of the best ones. It's like really big. I haven't had a good look through it yet either. I haven't finished the game, which is another one from it's weird to think that came out like December 2017 as well. Something
oh my god, it's 2017 game.
Yeah,
you could technically say it came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, but then like Bloodborne came out in 2015 along with Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so not the typewriter one, but you know the one I'm going to show you quickly on my phone. You know that one that comes with the Leon figure?
Okay, that's
got
keys.
The box of keys and like a poster and stuff.
Yeah.
That one is 230.
Okay. How much is the typewriter one then?
I mean, this game, but I'll have to double check. But like 230 for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's $900. I'm not kidding. £530.
530 quid.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like $900.
No, it doesn't, does it?
What's $900 in pounds?
The answer is £699.10.
Oh, not close.
699.
Not too far off.
700 quid.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It looks really cool, actually.
Oh, okay, so it does look like a keyboard.
Yeah.
It's like super mechanical, though.
Yeah, it looks cool as shit. I'd love it. It's just not for that
700
price.
quid, though.
Like, why would you ever pay that?
That is so much.
It's insane.
Yeah, you could buy a car for that.
I will admit, though... Oh, my...
A shitty car.
What I will say, though, is I do like it when limited edition like offer things that are actually practical as well. Like, you know, like the Devil May Cry one that's coming out with the jacket.
Oh yeah,
like
that's even more expensive. That's like $1,500.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like the price is always extortionate, but the idea of it is cool. It's cool having something that you could actually use or like has a use other than just sitting in a corner as well. As well, you know. I can't think of many that actually do that. To be fair, but
I mean, there aren't any that I haven't bought a collector's edition and used the stuff that's in it.
Yeah.
Like I got the Ni no Kuni music box sitting over there, which I've listened to a couple of times when it come out. I do have the big box sitting there as well.
Yeah.
Like the Xenoblade Chronicles one is just a book, so that's sitting down there, which will go on a bookshelf when I get one. It's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like I never took the 15 figure out of the box. Like the Metal Gear one I've got up there. He's holding a little snake, the little arm. But yeah, it's weird. It's like, I don't know. Most of the time they don't feel like they're worth it.
Yeah.
So night vision goggles on RC car buggy from Call of Duty.
I don't know though, because then you do have the people who actually have like really nice displays in their house.
There is that, yeah.
And they've got really nice like glass kind of displays, and you see all the like collectors figures that they get, or like edition, and then you're like, actually this is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
I think if you got somewhere to display them, it's worth. But if you don't, it's not, because then they just sit in the box. Yeah, that's the problem with me. Like I actually like really like the Noctis figure. I like how the Play Arts ones look, but it's good. It's just sitting in this box until I get somewhere to display it properly.
Yeah, I got the Zelda, the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Statue that's out in the hallway. That looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like, it's not something that stands out. You know, I guess it's not really in a prominent place out there, but.
Need glass shelves and stuff. Yeah. Display stuff.
I need more display things. I've got this bookshelf in here, but I need more like a bigger place to put stuff. I've got so many books, but they're just stuffed in a cupboard.
Yeah, that as
which
well.
I hate. Or like in a stack on the floor over there.
Yeah.
And it's all ones that I would like to have on a shelf, so I can like pick them off and look through them and read them and stuff, but I just haven't bothered to yet.
Yeah, it's just getting the space and like just the way of managing it. It's rough. It'll figure out though, and then everything will be nice and neat and like, yeah, it'll be cool.
Speaking of neat, I played a couple of VR things.
Yeah.
Over the past couple of weeks. I finished up Astrobot. And the ending of that game is cool.
Okay.
The final boss is, so you know when you're playing it, you got like a weird like VR version of the PS4 controller in your hands in front of you at all times. Like the final boss is like this alien guy that stole the VR headset off of the ship.
Okay.
As you're like collecting pieces and repairing it, and in order to get that headset, you have to beat him, and he whaps out a gigantic PS4 controller, and then like uses the abilities that you use throughout all the other levels against you.
Okay.
Like the little ninja stars, or the the water spraying thing and stuff. And when you hit him a certain amount of times, the controller like sort of flies off, and you put your controller into the controller, and then it's like you move your hands around, and it's like a gigantic one that moves, mimics your actions, and it's kind of super weird seeing a gigantic PS4 controller. But yeah, finishing that was fun. There's still some things I need to do.
Save all the robots.
Clean up wise, yeah.
Yep.
I've heard people didn't like the challenges and stuff that were in it, but I haven't had a chance to look through them yet. I think they're like timed wise, or like timing challenges on bosses I'm not a big fan of. Actually, yeah, kind of any challenges in any games I'm not a big fan of, but we'll see how this goes, because it'd be fun to get platinum on that.
Yeah.
I played a little bit more Moss, but I haven't finished it, and I would like to. I know it's short, but just haven't really had a chance to sit down with it yet and finish that up. But I did do a demo for Ace Combat 7. That came out last week, and a demo went up on the Japanese store, so I grabbed that. And man, like just being in a cockpit and then flying up above the clouds, doing like a little corkscrew and like bombing down towards the sea, and just being able to like look. So it's like, it's a very short demo. I think you've only got 5 minutes in like actual gameplay wise. You can like redo it over and over. It's not like Resi. but you fly towards these objects, and then they're just like enemies that you end up having a dogfight with, and like seeing them fly past your head and then being able to actually look behind you at like the guy,
right? Yeah.
And then sort of pulling up and to the side and to turn around and stuff. It's really cool. There was only one time where I actually felt weird in VR with it, but that's because I was like went up super high, like shot down towards a guy, shot him with a couple of missiles, but then like crashed into his wreckage.
Oh.
So when you crashed into it, I was like, ah! Oh, I died.
Yeah.
That was a little bit scary. But then it's just like game over, continue, whatever.
Yeah.
But man, just like, yeah, just flying around, seeing screenshots of later levels where you're like in a city and it's all raining and stuff would be kind of awesome. Having control over the plane can get a little bit, it can take getting used to.
Yeah.
I feel it's not as easy as like you would hope it would be. It's not like arcadey, I guess.
Right. Okay.
But there's a ton of buttons in that cockpit that you're not touching.
Yeah.
As well, so it's no simulator. But yeah, it's one of the coolest VR experiences I've had, and I kind of want more of that as well. Like different things that you can do in VR that you can't do in regular games. I want them to put out as many demos as possible for stuff, because otherwise you're not going to be like, you're not going to know if you want to buy a new Ace Combat if you know, you haven't tried it out in VR.
Yeah, exactly.
So VR demos, I think, help a whole lot. And they put up a new edition of that VR demo disc as well. There's a third one of those out.
Yeah.
The problem is that it contains most of the games that I've got, like Moss and Astrobot and a few other ones that I've like already got. So
I think that one has the Resi 7 kitchen demo.
that's right. Yeah. Is that the only place you can get it, or is that?
I think so. Yeah.
Or is that a download separate anyway?
I think it might be a separate download as well. I don't know. Either way, fuck that. Never touching that.
Because you're in one place, aren't you?
Yeah.
For that, and you can't move, and then it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that one's super creepy.
So I did that, and then the singer who did the music, or the main themes to the Kingdom Hearts games, she had a concert where she sung the theme tunes and stuff for it, and they put out a VR experience, which is 2 songs from Kingdom Hearts the series, and it's like her with the band on stage, and you can sort of change camera angles, and then you just sit there and sort of like listen to this song.
Okay.
And it's got the simple and clean song. Well, it's in Japanese. It's the Hikari version, and then it's got that song, the ending theme for Kingdom Hearts 3, which is the one that magically makes sound effects disappears in trailers.
Okay.
And they're really cool. Like, it's weird. You do the closest camera, and then like on one of them she kind of steps down steps and she's standing right in front of you, and she's a very small Japanese lady.
Right, yeah.
But like she's given it her all, and like you can tell she really cares about these songs, and you're just kind of like watching her sing and seeing like the guitarists and stuff in the background, but like the main focus is on her, and depending on what camera angle you've got it at, she looks at you an awful lot, and it can get a little strange, but she's really passionate about those songs, and yeah, I don't know, it's cool. I don't know why it was an 11 gig download.
Jesus.
For these 2 songs in VR. You could tell that you could see some compression artifacts on the videos as well. Like, it wasn't super. I mean, that headset's not a really high quality headset anyway, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that was cool. I listened to those a couple of times with the director's cut, which means you can't control the camera angle.
Yeah.
And it was cool watching the credits, because it had like a making of things, so it showed you how they went about making a lot of those scenes. It's just like a camera or like a bunch of cameras with a ton of light bulbs around it, and there was just so many cameras to film all that shit. Yeah, so that was neat. That was just something I did after the Ace Combat demo, and it was a nice reprieve from that.
I was going to say that's two very different things.
Yeah. I played Moss for about 10 minutes or so before jumping back on the computer to try and sort out some more Game of the Year things. But yeah, that's kind of actually all I've done over the past couple of weeks. I haven't really managed to sit down with... Well, I did a few more levels on Hitman 2. Like new ones. I did that one on Columbia. I think it was Columbia. Once, and then that elusive target hit, so I did that. The video of that will be going up soon, I think. And then I left it up until a couple of days ago when I went through the 2 maps after that. So I've only done those once, but they're really cool. Like, I really like the maps on that. And the last one I did was on a suburb like area. Okay. It's like a nice little rural town in America, and there's like this row of houses, and there's like a half a dozen houses or so that you can go inside, and they're all like fully modeled and shit. And like some of them look like one of them's completely empty because they're selling it, so there's like no furniture or anything like that. And then another one is like this sort of upper-class lady type house. It's very pink wallpapers, and there's like pictures hanging on every wall. And like there was a room which has like this sort of like I'm surprised I didn't stumble across a room that had like a bunch of taxidermy cats or something in it, you know.
Ooh.
Like she was weird. And I stuffed her in a cupboard. I knocked her out.
Okay.
But yeah, that was strange. But it's just nice to, like, I think that's my favourite level so far. It does mean I've only got one level left, and apparently that's really cool. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. Hitman 2 is really cool.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Like, I don't know whether I prefer the levels from the first game or the second game, but the fact that they're all in the second game is a bonus. I'm worried that when a third one comes out, or even the expansion to this one, because they did sell a season pass, so I assume they're making new content for this. Yeah, when a third one comes out, and if you pull all the levels into that, like, it's going to end up taking up a bunch of space on a hard drive.
Yeah, true.
So I'm a little worried about that. But yeah, like especially I looked at my Game of the Year list and wanted to figure out what ones I could actually finish. And Moss and Hitman 2 were those ones, but I've played enough now to warrant, like, if I wanted to put them on a list or not. Yeah. But yeah, anything else you want to go over with before we have a look at that?
I want to like touch on the actual Resi 2 demo, because that is quite a big thing.
Oh yeah,
I did play through that. Yeah, I did that on stream. So the way it works is like 30 minutes, one-shot demo. You literally have 30 minutes, and that's it. As soon as the 30 minutes are gone, you cannot play that demo again, unless, you know, different accounts or whatever. But,
yeah.
Mainly, you can't. And you get put in a mission. I guess you could call it a mission. It's like relatively right at the beginning of the game, just as kind of Leon enters their RCPD. And like, man, that game is good. It looks good, I think. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
It controls great. The Resi 7 menu and interface, inventory, that's the word I'm trying to say, is really nice. I'm glad
Does it work exactly the same way?
Just similar, but it works great. It looks great. You can upgrade it. I did in the demo, which is cool. That game is tense and scary first time you play it. Lighting has been done really well. So like, you start off and you're in just the main room, and then you go to the right, and then you kind of like crawl under a thing, and then lights out everywhere. All you've got is your torch, and like, sound design and lighting design just make it so good because it's terrifying. That was scary. Did that like section, and then someone basically died, and it was gory as hell, saw their guts and stuff. And yeah, the gore in this game At least the visuals of it is gross. It's great.
Cool.
They did a really good job. And then you kind of get your first encounter with zombies. They made it proper survival horror. It's not like Resi 5 or Resi 4 where you just like see a zombie or whatever they are, just pop them and run. Like that doesn't happen.
Okay.
They take a few bullets to go down, you know. They don't fuck around. Which is nice. It actually is way more realistic, and it feels a lot more tense. Like, you want to preserve your ammo. Like, I found myself actually looking for ammo and wanting it, which, I don't know, that's what Resi 7 did really well, I think. And this is definitely doing something very similar. Like, a survival horror game where, like, you actually want ammo is exciting to play. It makes every encounter, like, exciting. But yeah, like, when you kind of shoot the zombies in the head and they stumble, or how they react is really well done. Yeah, it's just really freaking good. And then I got to like another section, which was like the opposite side, did like a few things, picked up a key, and then got back to the main hall, cutscene, finished the demo, and then I had like an extra trailer.
Yeah, the one with the tofu and stuff, I know.
What is the tofu? I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's really fun. I'm really excited to play it. First impressions of that 30 minutes demo is just, it's great. It's everything we kind of wanted it to be, I think. And yeah, I can't wait for the full game to come out. And it's gonna be quite scary, but it controls like Resi 4 and Resi 6 if you meshed them together. So it's like Resi 6 in terms of it's not as like, you know, you can move when you aim, so you don't aim, stand still, and then after that. So that's great. So it's Resi 6 in terms of that, but then it's Resi 4 just in terms of like, you know, behind your shoulder tank control. Well, not tank. You know what I mean?
Is that not what 6 was?
I think 6 was a bit looser. I think.
So what you're saying is it's like 5?
Yeah, sure.
But you can move whilst you aim?
Yeah, and the aiming is a bit better. Harder, but better.
Yeah.
It feels great. It feels fun to play.
Okay. I didn't play the demo because I don't want to get too excited about it because the game comes out this Friday.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting a week before playing anything new, so...
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
No reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got that limited edition console pre-order for Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
It looks really good. It's the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it really sucks because my console gets super loud when playing. Like, God of War was a bit nuts. Spider-Man was insane. And yeah, like Ni no Kuni almost destroyed it. Only when you're on the map, though, the world map, which is crazy to think about. And this Kingdom Hearts console would be one of the new ones, so it would be like quiet because they've been reported to be really good, and nowhere near as loud, or if at all, from what mine is. And I really don't want to like take it out of the box, but it seems like a bit of a waste, you know.
Thing is, my only worry is like, what if you do take out the box and then after a few months of using it, it does start getting loud?
Oh, that would be a bummer.
Then yeah, that would suck, because then you'd like be like, oh, I may as well just keep it. So I can get that.
Also, where my console is now, it's like the pattern on top wouldn't do anything. Like, you wouldn't be able to see it on there.
Yeah, true.
I'd like it to be in a place where you'd be able to see it. Yeah. Yeah. But my main worry is if it arrives on Monday or before, and it has a copy of the game inside it, like, I'd have to open it in order to play it. Otherwise, I'd have to wait until midnight because Kieran's getting the digital version.
Okay.
So either I play that on like day of release, or if I get it early, like, do I risk opening it up? Yeah.
Oof.
It would give us another PlayStation 4 controller, which we're lacking.
That's true.
So that'd be kind of cool.
Is the controller got?
Yeah, it's got a couple of little bits on it, which is cool.
It's rough. It's cool though. Yikes. Tough decision.
Yeah. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts out next week, and I'm pretty excited about that. Which means the podcast after that, we'll be able to talk about that game a whole bunch.
Yep.
So that's going to be good. We'll have Kieran on for that. See what Sean's up to. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be playing it straight away. I have a feeling he's probably going to want to.
Yeah.
So
I think he's going to buy it, and then
yeah. That should be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Aquaman in the cinema. That's a really good film.
I need to see it.
It's very good. Like, it's the first DC film that I've seen in the cinema.
Okay.
And like the first DC film I've seen over the past like 10 years or so. And we went into HMV afterwards, and I thought about getting all of those, all of this extended universe films,
right,
on 4K Blu-ray. So I want to see Wonder Woman at least, because that's one that people have enjoyed.
Man of Steel was really good.
Yeah, Man of Steel was the first one in like this series of films.
Yeah.
So I would get that, and then it's the Batman vs Superman and Justice League are the two that I'm sort of not super excited about, but I don't know, some people seem to enjoy them.
I mean, I think they're worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen Justice League, to be fair, to make an opinion on that. But like, Batman vs Superman, yeah, it was nowhere near as good as people wanted it to be. And I can't say it's an amazing film at all, but it's worth a watch. I would never say like, oh, just boycott it.
No.
Yeah. I know people will exaggerate and say it's the stupidest, worst thing ever, but whatever.
Suicide Squad is also in this universe.
Yes, it is. That's worth a watch. It's a bad film.
Yeah.
But it's worth a watch as well, I'd say.
That's a shame.
It's one of those films where like, I feel like not all films have to be amazing to like want to see it. Like, films that are just okay are worth watching as well, I think. Like, I don't know, like, I have a lot of gripes about Suicide Squad. Like, Jared Leto shouldn't have even been in that film. The Joker shouldn't have been in that film. And it actually would have been better. It actually would have. But, I don't know. It's fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how the sequel turns out, I guess, isn't it?
Oh, God.
James Gunn, though. Also, there's another Harley Quinn one coming out this year, I think it is.
Just Harley Quinn, is it?
No, it's... maybe you haven't seen the title of it.
No. Wait, isn't that the Batwoman one? Oh, no, that's a series.
Batwoman's coming to the CW, yeah.
Yeah.
She was in the crossover.
Yeah.
No, so I was looking up the order of all the just the extended universe films, and I came across the ones that were like upcoming, like Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, and then there is so Shazam comes out in April.
Okay.
That looks really good. And then it's Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Is the full title of that film.
Alright, well... Okay.
Oh, okay, that comes out next February 2020. And then Wonder Woman sequel, which is the one with Wonder Woman 1984, is also 2020. So they said yesterday, I think it was, they're taking it one film at a time now. They're slowing down and they're taking a look at like their output of films.
Okay.
But yeah, hopefully they'll be on the right track, because they've had a real strange time with their films over the past decade or two. Like, yeah, I don't know.
You know what? I feel like they do good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. Except for they went on one thing where they went good, bad, bad, good, bad, good.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, then Justice League, then Aquaman. Hopefully Shazam's really good, though.
Yeah,
that comes out next.
Maybe Justice League is alright. I haven't seen it, but maybe it is like fine.
So James Wan, co-wrote and directed Aquaman, and he was like heavily involved in a lot of the Fast and Furious films.
Oh, okay.
And there were shots in that film and like just whole sequences where you can see the Fast and Furious like show through, and it was awesome.
Was it family?
It was so good. Oh man, Aquaman is all about that family.
All about family.
Yeah, he did not do anything unless it helped him or his family. You know, he cared so much.
Fucking Fast and Furious.
I mean, to be fair, it was a lot about family, like him and his brother and like,
fish people,
dad and fish boy. Yeah.
Got that.
Hey, you're that fish boy from the TV. It's Fishman. It's a really good film. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. Maybe not in the cinema.
Yeah.
If you do watch any film in the cinema, I don't know if Spider-Man is still in it though.
I think so. So like, it usually says that.
That should be a big screen film to watch. You should definitely see that in the cinema if you have the chance.
Yeah, I still need to see Venom, which is out, I think.
It comes out on 4K Blu-ray on the first week of February.
Okay, cool.
So a couple of weeks. Yeah,
right, I'll watch that.
Yeah,
excited to watch that.
It's cool. I enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Cool. Okay. Let's quickly go down my Game of the Year stuff now then. So the past, ever since when did Watch Dogs come out? 2014. Ever since 2014, I've done a top 10. Actually, 2015 was weird. I did a top 20 because there were just so many damn games then. But I did hey, here's my favorite games of the year, and I posted that out on Twitter. Last year, I guess, for 2018, I decided I'll go the extra mile and do categories, which every outlet does. Man, like, I didn't realize how much effort it is to like put games into them, or people, or whatever the hell the category is on, cutting it down and ordering them and all that other stuff, and doing it as an individual is fine, but like I can't imagine having like a group of like 7, 8, like 10 people all trying to decide on these would be kind of insane. But yeah, I'd done a bunch of categories. I didn't want to just do like best platformer, best whatever, best new character. Well, I do have new character, but I didn't want to do just boring ones.
Yeah.
So I think the idea came about when I was playing Ni no Kuni 2, which I'll get to. So I got best mechanic. I actually wish I had the full list on here. I've only got I did 3 for these and then 10 in my top 10. So I got 2 nominations and a winner, I guess. So best mechanic, Donut County, just controlling a hole.
That's fair.
God of War, retrieving the axe with the triangle button.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
Or it should be maybe most satisfying mechanic, I guess.
Yeah.
Because controlling the hole is really nice.
Best mechanic, like, you get it.
Axe retrieval, yeah. But what one was Spider-Man swinging around the city.
Yeah, I mean, they did a really good job of that. And
it felt really good.
Seamless it looks. Yeah. Like I don't have as much nostalgia for Spider-Man 2 as most people, but like that's the Spider-Man game they always bring up. Yeah.
And like I've seen the game recently, and maybe it doesn't hold up that well.
It does not.
But for a 2018 PS4 game, Insomniac Spider-Man seems to nail that swinging pretty perfect. Best box art. I looked through a bunch of images for this.
Yeah.
For most games that came out this year. It was super weird for some digital stuff. So like Donut County didn't have a box art, but I was going by the icon on the home screen.
Yeah, that's fair.
The 3 that I've got were actual box arts. Octopath Traveler.
Yeah,
I really like the art that's on it with the all the characters there going off on a jolly journey. Zonly Enders 2, the remake,
Yeah.
Because one, I can't remember if it's all versions or just one version, has like it goes out of its way to have a really cool box art, which I wouldn't expect from Konami.
Yeah.
In that, like, GOTY is on there, but like the silver background behind him is all shiny.
Yeah.
And like actually reflective, and yeah, it just doesn't seem like Konami would go through the effort to put that in, but that's cool. And I'm also still kind of bummed out that I don't have a physical copy of that game yet. Though I think it is like £9, so
yeah,
I need to get one.
You'll be fine.
And my favourite is Tetris Effect.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just like all the colours and shit that goes on that box.
Yeah, it's cool.
And just straight up, it's a Tetris grid with like a lot of the effects from the levels are surrounding the logo and everything.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice. Soy Smash Brothers, I know you really like that one.
Yeah.
But it's just a bunch of characters.
But that's why it's so special, you know?
It didn't feel special.
All those characters. Smash is special.
Okay. Most disappointing. I didn't include Fallout 76 because I haven't played it and I knew that game was going to be trash.
Okay.
So that is nowhere on this list. These are ones that mainly I thought like may have stood a chance or I was excited about, and I ended up disappointed by them. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that beta. It sucked that the main game was more of that beta. Well, the same amount of content as that beta, but without a time limit.
Yeah.
I know they've added stuff to it now, and they're like adding islands and making more quests and stuff. So maybe by the end of this year or so, we'll jump back in with a Game Pass trial or something and check it out.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a second place one that has no. So after listening to a bunch of Game of the Year stuff, I know exactly what happens in that story to that character and what happens afterwards. Like, all of that stuff's been spoiled for me.
Okay.
And like, it sounds like a really good movie. The thing I hate about Red Dead Redemption 2 is the physical act of playing that game. It feels like a game from like 2 generations ago.
Maybe just watch it.
But like, if you could find a Red Dead Redemption 2 movie, no commentary, then that would be kind of cool. Because like that character and like that world and stuff is really nice.
Yeah. It's
just playing that game, I didn't have a good time with it. It's just so much to manage and so much to think about, and I don't know.
I'm just going to echo of what I've read. I've not played it, but there are a lot of times where people have said it is just outright boring at some points as well.
Oh, it's so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's deliberately slow. It like every animation, every like action that you do is meant to take time, because it's meant to like have you be in that world and like you basically role playing Arthur as you're like doing these things.
I just in my head, now I've not played either of these games, but I can't imagine playing Spider-Man and then playing this. Imagine having like all the fun in the world with that, and then playing this super slow, drab. Alright, it looks nice. Yeah, super realistic. It's cool. But having to be like super management. Like, and then on the other hand, wouldn't you just want to play Spider-Man again? Like flying through a city, having fun, awesome dialogue, super happy time. Now I know different games can have different tones, and that's the point, and that's fine. It just, I feel like Red Dead, at least from what I've read and from what I've seen other people's like opinions on it, Red Dead seems to have just missed the mark of what people wanted, and they pushed too hard on the realism. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed the first game. I was really looking forward to this. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to play it. I'll give it another shot.
Yeah.
But like, as it stands like right now, I like can't think of anything I want to do less.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's still a nominee. It's not the winner of this.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is the worst? Yeah.
Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, that doesn't even need to be talked about. That is trash. Yeah, that is, yeah. Konami, yeah, fuck you.
I gave it the benefit of the doubt for about 20 minutes. And then once I ran out of clean water, I was like, fuck this.
Oh man, that game should not have Metal Gear next to the title. It really shouldn't.
Like, I get that they just wanted to cash in on it, but they could have made a really good game.
They chose not to.
They just didn't. They chose something that had microtransactions and like ways to get money out of you. And
I read something the other day that I didn't even know.
what?
Do you know you have to pay $10 to make a new save file?
You get a certain amount of characters, I think.
Apparently,
it's a character slot. It is to because you get a new character and you make one.
But apparently, you have one like save thing.
Yeah.
If you want to do a new thing, it costs $10.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Konami?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm not going to go into any spoilers or anything in any of these.
Yeah.
There's plenty of spoilers out there if you want to hear how. I was gonna spoil Red Dead, but I'm not gonna.
Okay, yeah.
Cutest game.
Cutest game, okay.
Yeah.
I like this category.
Kirby Star Allies,
Okay.
which we played the demo.
Yeah.
I bought the game. We haven't played it since. We haven't played it yet, which I'm bummed out about. But every time I see a trailer or see a video or something for that game, it's like, man, that little hamster motherfucker.
Well, look, if it has cute in it, Kirby is a contender. So,
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Donut County is another runner-up.
Yeah, that was cute.
I like the fun vibes that are going on. Little, like, fox in a balloon and stuff, you know. It's
yeah, it was nice.
Cool. But it has nothing on Moss.
Moss is cute, yeah.
Moss is... Well, Quill is the name of the mouse in it. But you control her and having her run up to you and look at you and wave, and you use you can sort of stroke her head if you go up and hold the trigger down. The way she emotes and everything is really cool. And like Astrobot, I guess it comes close to, I guess. Okay. Like in a similar sort of way, where like if you lose him and then like you look at him, he like waves and shouts at you. But yeah, Moss, cutest game.
Fair.
Best remaster or port? Quite a few come out last year.
There were a lot.
There were a lot of good ones too. I didn't put Yakuza Kiwami 2 on here because I haven't played it, but I know that is a really good game.
Yeah.
I took off Burnout Paradise because as much as I really liked that, it is just a 4K version of that exact same game.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it did anything to the game. It just felt like it's like you can play this now on PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's with all the content and whatever else. But for my top three, like similar to Burnout, but the fact that you can play Shenmue 1 and 2 on modern consoles and you don't have to have a Dreamcast or an Xbox.
Well, I mean,
to play them.
That does more, doesn't it? Because like you're talking about, you know, Burnout Paradise was on like Xbox and 360 actually. Shit,
360 and PS3.
And PS3, yeah. So we've gone from that to PS4.
It's just up a generation, yeah. But this is like multiple generations.
This is like 5 generations.
They've cleaned it up very well. It looks really nice, really sharp. It launched with some bugs.
What doesn't?
Like it wasn't perfect, I guess. But like there were some weird bugs, like all of a sudden it goes black and white.
Yeah.
Or like all of a sudden you go in first person after exiting a cutscene and you're running around in first person, but the camera is slightly tilted.
Yeah.
There's some strange bugs going on, but they've worked on them. I think they're fixed now actually. But like it's those two Dreamcast games which hold up extremely well. Visually, I mean, like they're better than some game. Like knowing that these came out in like 99 or 2001, like you wouldn't have thought how much detail like went into them. Control wise, like take it as you will, like they updated it so you can use the analog stick to move Rio, but like I had no trouble with those controls anyway.
Yeah,
some people did. And yeah, I haven't played through Shenmue 2, but from what I understand is it's better than the first game's remaster, and I really like that first game. So, so yeah, there's that. There's Assassin's Creed Rogue Remaster, which I finally got into. It's what I'm playing through now. It's almost like a new game for me because I didn't play that much on 360.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying. Like, it looks really good. Like the sea is like Sea of Thieves level of like detail. It looks really pretty, and it's a nice cross between Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 4. It's like, which are arguably two of the best Assassin's Creed games, and like having a mixture of both, because there's like a giant city which you go and renovate and like do other stuff and whatever else, which feels like Brotherhood, but then like you got two gigantic open water areas which feels like Black Flag. It's like the best of both, and I think it might be my favourite. Well, I think it's better than Black Flag, let's say that.
Okay.
And Sean really likes Black Flag, so I've told him that, and I got it for him for Christmas, so hopefully he'll check that out and see how he gets on. But yeah, that remaster in 4K and all that stuff, it runs really well. But obviously Shadow of the Colossus is the best remaster or port of last year.
Yeah, that was super impressive.
Yeah, how do you know?
You'll see in a few weeks.
Okay, cool. Best animal / non-human. I originally had this as best dog / animal.
Okay.
Quill from Moss. Aggro from Shadow of the Colossus.
Right, yeah.
But the best animal / non-human is BK from Donut County.
I was going to say, I couldn't remember his name. I was going to say it's that fucker from Donut County. Yeah.
He just loves trash.
He is trash, but you gotta love him.
All he wanted was his quadcopter, and he got it, and it got busted.
It got busted, yeah. So he decided to destroy everything.
Well, no, I mean, like, he was just doing his job. Like, spoilers, I guess, for Donut County.
It's fucking weird.
You can play it in a couple of hours.
It's so good. It's so good.
But BK as a character is just so well written. Every line that he says, he only thinks about himself. And, yeah. It's so funny. Best looking game. This was tough. This was one of the ones that I had like a ton of entrance nominations on.
Entrance works as well, but
I think it's fine. Entry.
Entrees.
Entry.
No.
Entrails.
I think it's entrance.
And like cutting it down to 3 was actually really hard.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Number 3, I got Tetris Effect.
Okay. Yeah.
That's very good, especially in VR.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Grease.
Yeah.
Like the hand-drawn animation on that is awesome, giving me like sort of Ori vibes from some of the areas and stuff, the world that you're in. Obviously you don't go back to it as much, I guess, and it's not as the art style is way different, I guess, isn't it? But yeah, it's a very nice looking, nicely animated game. But number 1 I got was God of War.
That's fair.
So I was looking at the list and I thought, well, it's best looking. I haven't got like best style or best like stylistic looking game.
Because when we talked about it, it's like you got Dragon Ball Fighters and Octopath. When you got those two, and like I'll add Tetris to that. Actually, and is it Grease?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like stylistically, they nail it. What they set out to do, they nail it. But best looking, and then you look at like how good God of War looks.
Yeah. Like Spider-Man, I really hate that I had to cut that. Because that looks outstanding.
Yeah.
Like Octopath was a tough cut as well. And what was the other one? Ni no Kuni 2 also looks really nice. But yeah, it's not best style, it's not best technical, it's just best looking.
Best looking.
And like I was thinking about the worlds and stuff that you see in God of War, and just like the lake and the characters and everything on it, and it does look outstanding. Like there's so many paces where that camera purposefully pans over, and you are kind of left mouth agape.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
As to what is being shown here. Yeah. Best new character, which I realise now is it. So best new character, best animal / non-human. I put aggro on there because it's a horse in Shadow of the Colossus, which is a game that came out previous, so it's not a new character. Now, best animal / non-human came about because of Ni no Kuni 2, which kicked this whole thing off.
Right.
Because there is a chef that you hire for your town early on called Floyd.
Okay.
And he's a cat. He's just a cat in a little hat.
Okay.
He's called Floyd. Or is it just no? Is it Lloyd or Floyd? Fuck, one of those.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this guy's awesome. I'm gonna make a category for him.
Right. Okay.
And then it spiraled into all of this stuff. So he was on one of those lists.
Yeah.
At that point, I didn't know who BK was.
Yeah.
So that's fair. So best new character actually has 2 of those.
Yeah.
From the previous one. Quill on it again. Mimir from God of War, who is your companion who joins you fairly early on, and his head is attached to your belt through the whole journey. After that, and he told you stories on the boat, and he chats to Atreus a little bit, and he gives you like knowledge of sort of the history of the world and Odin and all this other stuff, like bits, lore and things. But also his banter during cutscenes and stuff too is also really good, like during fights and after fights and all that. He's a really well written character, and he's really funny. But in first place I put BK again.
Yeah. BK is great.
Best new character of 2018. 2 more. Best opening sequence. So this was tough because God of War has a really cool thing at the start of the game.
Okay.
But there's a whole sort of walking section before then. So it's going to be like an hour or so before you actually get to it.
Right, okay.
It's like a fight that's early on and it looks outstanding. But I think the opening of that game is you kind of doing a walk, basically, and doing that hunt from that original trailer.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to, so I cut that.
Yeah.
So in third place I got Forza Horizon 4. It does what the other games do of you driving to the event.
Oh, the event was cool in 4 though.
But this goes through different vehicles, but also the different seasons to show them off.
Okay.
So it's like you driving through a forest as it's like autumn, in like an off-road car or something or other, and then you'll drive up to a lake, and then the screen will wipe, and then you'll be like driving on the lake because it's winter and all that stuff. And it's just you doing these like basically like 4 different events up until the point where you get to the what would it be called? The competition, the venue, the
sure,
the party, the Horizon Festival. That's it. Festival.
Yes.
And like that's really cool. Ni no Kuni 2 is also a runner-up because the start of that game is set in what would seem to be modern-day America. The president is in his limo driving towards the city to talk at some UN summit to bring peace to the world.
Okay.
And then he's driving through a tunnel, and then he comes out of the tunnel, heads over to a bridge, and then a nuclear bomb or nuclear missile hits the city and everything blows up. And then when the president awakes, he's in this town that's getting overrun by mice, and he looks differently. And then the king comes up and he's like, "Who are you?" And then a mouse comes up and then he shoots a mouse in the head with a gun, and then you escape from the castle as this coup is going on, and it's kind of insane.
I need to play Ni no Kuni. What the fuck did you just say?
Yeah. And
alright, I don't want to know anymore.
And it's really
though.
cool.
Like, I need to, Alright, sure. That's not what?
Yeah, that's not what I thought it was really either.
Alright. That's weird.
And number 1 is Spider-Man. because the transition between cutscene and swinging is flawless and incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally for the categories, I got best soundtrack.
Right, yeah. This one has been eating at you for a while because soundtracks take a while to listen to.
Yeah, some of them are long. The Octopath one is 4 CDs long.
Yeah.
These the ones I'm kind of bummed out about are Dragon Quest and Assassin's Creed, because I haven't played them, but also Dragon Quest is not orchestral like 8 was.
Right.
It went back to like MIDI sort of music, beeps and beeps. It's like the music is cool, but it's like very much the songs from previous games. Right. And they don't sound as well as like as good as we have heard them be. So like them putting out a new game which looks as nice as it does, but without the soundtrack it deserves, is a bummer. And then Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I don't know if the soundtrack will be good in that anyway.
Yeah.
But also it's really hard to find. Like I couldn't listen to it even on YouTube. So yeah.
I know you're disappointed with Dragon Ball FighterZ as well.
Yeah, man, the Dragon Ball FighterZ and the Soul Calibur soundtracks were bad. They were not good.
It's weird. I listened to Dragon Ball FighterZ after we talked about it, and like they're like the main menu theme and the like character select and like entering battle theme. They nailed those. They are probably like some of the best in all fighting games. I'm not even kidding. That's just out. They're amazing. And then when you get to like the stages and more, there's like 2 or 3 stages where I'm still like, okay, these are fucking cool, you know? But then as I went through more and more stages, I was like, a lot of this is quite samey.
Yeah.
It's very...
I just found like a lot of the menu music and stuff to be sort of generic fighting game type music, menu music. Like maybe Marvel vs. Capcom or even like another Arc System games. Like from Blaze Blue or something. It's just like that kind of super fast guitar riffs or like electronic music, and it just wasn't interesting at all. Similar problems for Soul Calibur as well. That was just like grandiose orchestra, but it had no heart to it.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing that.
Spider-Man, the swinging music, which you hear a lot, especially when searching for backpacks. It's this like epic score that starts up when you start swinging for a couple of seconds. So when you go and get a backpack, put a map marker on the next backpack you're going to, start swinging, and like you have this awesome music going on in the background. You're like, dude, I'm only getting collectibles. Like I don't deserve this, like this song going on. But like when you're heading towards a mission or something, it can feel really good.
So the Spider-Man soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
Is it literally? It feels like you were playing a Marvel Cinematic Universe game.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like it feels like a film soundtrack that's been tailored towards like gameplay bits. So if you listen to the Avengers soundtrack and then this, like you can tell the composer for Spider-Man was going for that.
Yeah,
kind of
like listen to the main theme alone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is like Avengers as fuck, you know? Like it's actually great.
Yeah. God of War is the similar sort of way. It's like a huge orchestra.
Yeah.
But like there was some songs in there which were reminding me of The Witcher, which was cool. Which like I guess similar sort of vibes with the amount of lore and stuff going on. It's like very not Celtic, but like mystical, I guess.
Okay.
World that you're in. And obviously like there was technically a Witcher game out last year. Thronebreaker came out, and it was very hard to cut that soundtrack because that was basically another Witcher soundtrack. And it's very good, but I wanted to focus more on other things, ones that I hadn't heard as much before, I guess. Like I love that Witcher 3 soundtrack, and like Thronebreaker's not as good as that, but I also think these 3 I like more,
Okay.
or have listened to more than that one as well. So yeah, shout outs to those ones. But in third place, I got Into the Breach. The FTL soundtrack was cool, very ambience. It was nice listening to it in game and out and about. It like helped with headaches and stuff. It was like very calm and whatever. This has a bunch of songs like that as well, but a bit more variety as well. There was some, because it's like a strategy game.
Yeah.
Like everything makes you think of thinking up tactics whilst you're doing it, and yeah, like that. I think that was the first soundtrack I listened to of the year, or like game wise, and I listened to it a long time before the game actually came out, or the long time before I had played the game, which I wish I liked more. It's one of those ones where I like the soundtrack way more than the game. Celeste was another one that I cut pretty early on, because the Celeste theme is really good. I don't know if I care about the rest of that soundtrack.
So the stages and like the soundtrack to that seem more like just environmental stuff. It doesn't feel like, you know, I can't imagine like listening to that soundtrack or wanting to listen to it. The stuff I've heard is more like, I don't know, it feels too timid, I guess.
Okay.
I don't
know. Donut County in second place.
That was a good soundtrack. It's a dumb, like I described this literally as I walked through the door earlier, because you're listening to it and I was just like,
we were listening to the Quack Anthem, which is the end of level song when you're getting your score.
But even everything, it's just like they're
so different.
It's so silly, it's so stupid, but I love it. I adore it. It's so good, and it works perfectly. They like nailed it. It's like, what music can we do with this really stupid character BK, and like this game where you're just destroying everything with holes, and they somehow came up with like the best music to fit it. It's great. Yeah,
it really paid off.
Yeah,
well,
it's great.
That was I think my favorite soundtrack for quite a while, actually, like a very long time. Like that and Into the Breach I'd listened to a whole ton over and over again. I had them on my phone for well, ever since I'd done this.
Yeah.
The only reason I'd taken them off is because I deleted, like in order to pick these, I listened to the soundtrack, deleted ones that I wasn't feeling,
right, and
then copying them back over to the PC so I could like listen to them all. Yeah, so the winner like is giving me both Nier and Kingdom Hearts vibes on some of the songs, and also I had listened to it before I played the game, but I did finish the game in one sitting, and that is Grease.
Okay.
That soundtrack really came out of nowhere. I don't know the person who's done it. I'll have to check and see what else they've done on there, but yeah, like it's one of those ones where I listened to the soundtrack a bunch, kind of fell in love with it, and then when playing the game I knew all the songs,
right, yeah,
so it sort of enhanced that experience too. And yeah, I'm kind of weirded out that like the three games are like hella indie, and like they're my favorite soundtracks of the year. Tetris was a hard one to cut, but we've only had a sampler soundtrack for it so far. It's like 10 songs, and whilst like the ones on there are probably the best ones that are in the game, it felt a bit strange having that on here. But also I know it's the original soundtrack for Tetris, but it's still a bunch of vocal type tracks. It's probably number 4, I don't know. But yeah, and the Ni no Kuni 2 soundtrack is also very good.
Yeah,
that's a very orchestral, high energy, sort of light-hearted tunes throughout.
I still have no idea the tone of that game after what you told me about.
It goes places.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck.
It goes some real dark places at some points, but then other times, yeah. And Ni no Kuni is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my categories. I enjoyed doing those.
Took you some time though.
Well, I mean, I had to wait until the end of the year.
In terms of like, oh, it took you. I mean, like it was like a grind to do it all.
Yeah, like obviously there were games that I haven't played or the games that I missed, so I weren't able to put them on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I know I haven't finished Moss, but like the categories that it was up for, like the soundtrack to that was cool. So, and like I've listened to that, so that was okay. The new character and the animal and stuff, like cutest game. It's like unless it changed. Well, no, I suppose it's still fairly cute from the beginning, isn't it? It's like, yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's a top 10. So have you put any thought into like favorite stuff from last year, or have you just not played enough?
I'm ignoring it completely until like I've actually gone through a majority of stuff from last year.
Out of these games, you played 2, and you've played 3, and you finished 2.
Yeah. Don't know. I couldn't tell you. Like...
They're actually my 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
So number 10 is Tetris Effect.
Okay, yeah, I finished that. Yeah, that was amazing.
Did you finish the journey on it?
Yeah, I did. I did everything. Yeah.
Oh, so you finished these then?
I did finish that. That was great.
I love Tetris Effect.
Yeah, Tetris Effect was great.
Yeah.
Perfected Tetris.
9, Donut County.
Yeah, Donut County. Just a couple of hours, just sit down, chill with BK. Such a good game. Such a good game.
I thought that might be my game of the year for quite some time. Until I'd played way more of the other ones that are on it. Number 8 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, I finished that completely as well now, so that's cool.
That's probably your game of the year, but that's one of your 3 games that you played this year, so last year.
That came out, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Spyro,
you haven't played. Oh, yeah, okay.
Spyro.
Yeah.
Spyro would actually be up there. That was really good, but
it would be in your top 4.
Smash probably would have won it, yeah, because that was, yeah. Yeah.
Smash Brothers is cool. I didn't put that on the best soundtrack because it's a lot of songs or remake or like remixes of past songs.
Yeah.
Yes, the Castlevania ones are new to the series, but like
it's not fair.
No.
Yeah. It's just it can't be in the category because like
it felt very strange.
Yeah, because like alright, you could base it on just the remixes, but then that isn't fair to like the original songs that's on there, and like it's I don't know, dude.
It should be best original soundtrack.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe.
And like the original music in that game is probably really good, but
fuck that intro theme.
It's still very strange. Yeah, I guess
I've changed it now.
Oh, that's your favorite game ever.
I'm so sad though. I can't change it to Ring a Ding. I thought you could.
Oh,
I can't. So now it's just like a mix of the menu themes, which is kind of cool. Like sometimes I'll load in and like the what's it called, Melee theme comes on. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And other times like the Brawl theme comes on, and just like, oh, this is cool.
Is that what you can change it to? You
can change it.
You can't put it as like Snake Eater or something.
There's like a list of tracks, but I don't think Snake Eater's on there. No.
Okay. What about the Wii Shop music?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That's pretty good. Okay.
It's really silly.
Yeah, number 7, Hitman 2 is one of the few ones on here that I haven't finished. Actually, it's the only one I haven't finished. Technically, I haven't started the story mode of Smash Brothers, but I played a bunch of the local multiplayer, so whatever. That's fine. Yeah, so 7, Hitman 2. Vast improvement over the first game, and I know that was my game of the year 2 years ago.
But a lot. But 2 years ago,
but it is
titles didn't
it is
come out.
more Hitman.
Yeah.
So it's like Hitman was a revelation of like stealth games, and like that was an incredibly nice surprise. But now it's like, hey, it's more of that game that was really good.
Yeah.
But the other ones on this list are ones that, well, I say that number 6 is Shadow of the Colossus. this is the first year that I've allowed remasters and remakes to be on my top 10.
It was a really good one. So,
but it's probably the best remake that I have ever come across. More so than, say, I don't know, the Twin Snakes is the only remake I can think of.
Yeah,
I guess Resi 2 would be one, but that's
not out yet.
No.
Yeah.
And it wasn't out last year, so
Resi 2 might actually be up there on one of the lists you just said in terms of like.
I guess like even Resi 1, isn't it? Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like that
did do a good job of remake.
I mean, it enhanced the game
quite a bit.
The gameplay in a few ways, but it was still like very much. It kept to the core of that game.
Yeah.
A lot more than Resi 2 is doing.
Resi 2 just feels like a brand new game.
Kinda, yeah.
But it's Resi 2.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing a brand new Resi game, but you're playing Resi 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only way I can describe it.
But like Shadow of the Colossus is, I guess it's really just a coat of paint if you think about it.
It is,
but it's everything that a remake should be.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's just like, you know, it just looks slightly better and it's more polished. It feels like it's like taken everything and it's like, right, we've rebuilt this game.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the original plan for the Shenmue ports was to remake those games with like new lighting and new just like make it look like a modern game, but they scrapped it and eventually just went back to like, hey, this is how it looks on Dreamcast, we're cleaning it up, here it is. So I think that might have had more of a chance if it was like a newer version, but I'm super happy that they just stuck with what we know and love.
We probably wouldn't have seen it yet if it was.
So I mean, technically the difference between like Shadow of the Colossus got remastered on PS3. Like that game was locked at 30 and like put out and cleaned up, and like that came out on the PS3. But like now they've remade it like pretty much from the ground up. Even though it is the same game. Yeah. It just runs, performs and looks way better, which is kind of all I can ask for, really. So top 5. Number 5, God of War. I'm still unsure how I feel about the combat in that. But thinking back at like the adventure that you went on and like the things that you did throughout, some really clever puzzles too.
It's just good.
It's great. It's really something else. And like the the semi-open world as well. It's very Tomb Raider in that you've got like a hub, and then it splits off into these like linear type areas. And the fact that you can go back to them in a God of War game is really nice. Yeah. Once you unlock it, it does a little bit of Metroidvania, where like some places are gated off, and you're like, oh, that's weird. I'll just have to come back later. When you like unlock fast travel. But yeah, sort of everything about it, from the story and to the look of everything, and just how well Kratos handles himself. It's it's really cool. Shadow of the Tomb Raider at number 4. It takes everything from Rise, makes it bigger, and that's kind of what Shadow is. It's not as much of a departure from like Tomb Raider 2013 to Rise. Like it's just more of that with some more weapons and some more gadgets and stuff. But
it's still really, really good.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say what was special about it compared to Rise. It's just better. I preferred it to it.
Well, Rise, like you speak highly of Rise.
Rise was really good.
Yeah. So if it's like a better Rise and just more Rise.
Yeah, it's the best one out of these 3.
Okay, so this is what I think is the difference between like talking about Shadow and Hitman 2, right? Hitman 2, as you said, is just more Hitman. Yeah. Yeah, it polishes a few things and some things are like kind of cool. But it's just more Hitman. Whereas it feels like Shadow isn't more Rise. It's like it takes Rise and just it excels on it again and just makes it just better.
Well, I suppose, I mean, Hitman 2 does introduce mechanics and other stuff to it, isn't it? I mean, it's like a whole new levels and all that other stuff. Like the like when you're crouching in bushes, you have the ring of like where guards will notice you and like stealth and stuff. Like there are those kind of mechanics in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I just preferred playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider over like Hitman 2 kind of thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That's fair.
Like I finished Shadow came out very close to Spider-Man, and I think it before. No, I think it was after Spider-Man. And I played and finished both of those very close to their launch date. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was more effort to get the platinum trophy in it. Fucking turkeys.
Yep, glitch turkeys.
But I went back and I played through the whole game on the hardest difficulty, which like removes all hints, all like, you know, waypoints and all that other stuff. And I still did everything there, and I had a really good time. And yeah, like much like Ni no Kuni, it pushed me to go through the extra stuff in it and like clean up the rest of those trophies, and like I didn't not want to do that, so I had a really good time playing that. Number 3 is Greece, a late entry, one that I finished a couple of weeks ago. Sort of just snuck in there, really. That was one I finished in one sitting. It took about 3 hours or so, 3.5 hours. I didn't know exactly what I was going into. Like, I saw that launch trailer last year, and because the game came out like mid-December or something, quite late. So I saw the initial trailer and I thought, yeah, this is something that I really like think I should be interested in. And then when going through soundtracks that I should listen to before I did Game of the Year stuff, like I grabbed the Grease one because I thought it might be something I should listen to at least. And then after listening to it and being like, yeah, I thought I should probably like get along with this game. And then it didn't overstay its welcome. It introduced new mechanics at every like new stage. There's like 4 stages total in it, and each of them is like quite different to the previous one in that like what you're doing. It's basically a platformer, with some puzzles. The puzzles aren't hard, but it's a bit like it's just a platformer. And it looks really good. I don't know whether it's hand drawn or what of it, if any, is like CG, but it's
it looks really good.
Yeah, like it animates incredibly well. It was fun to play as well. Like it is very simple in terms of like a platformer. But yeah, like everyone should check that out. I don't know whether they would. You might get caught up on the price. Maybe it's like $15.99, I think it is.
That's not bad.
$20, yeah. But if you are worried, maybe wait for a sale. But I would say that it is worth what it is like right now. Number 2, Ni no Kuni 2. I didn't expect to like that game as much as I did. And
you put a lot of time into it. I mean, you got the plat. So.
Yeah. It was one that was really good to have with podcasts, or like just a side video of stuff. The like the castle building thing is really cool. Like managing your own little castle and upgrading it, and buying new shops and all that other shit. I bought the season pass, and they're like slow on the output of content for it, but they have done one that's like this giant dungeon now, so I'll download that and check that out, because I have been kind of itching to get back in there and play some more of it. It was also a very easy game, which I like. You kind of feel overpowered a lot of the time. But yeah, the characters and story didn't leave a very lasting impression on me, but
the game itself did.
Yeah, it was just very fun to play, and like wandering around the world. It was like very traditional in that like you had a world map with the chibi characters, and you walk up to a small town that you look like you're half the size of like the biggest castle there, and then you go inside and it's just this like huge town to wander around in with lots of little people, and is yeah, it's very cool. And then number 1 is Marvel's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think from what you've told me about that, or what you've talked about that, I can totally see that being your number 1.
I had worries about the combat in that, because it's way more technical than like the Batman games. It's very similar, but Batman, you can just kind of wail on dudes and you can destroy them pretty quickly. With this one, it's like, hey, you've got gadgets, you need to use these gadgets against these guys. But Spider-Man does feel way more acrobatic, like more than Batman did. So like flipping over a guy, jumping off a wall, and then like using gadget after gadget to like web these guys up and knock them out, is fun until you leave it a couple of weeks and then come back to it and forget how to play stuff and then instantly get into a fight, and then it can get a bit tough. But also they give you end up with like, sometimes it feels unfair with the amount of guys they're throwing at you. You can be in a small room and have like 20 guys all around you, whereas with Batman you have like maybe
2 or 3.
It could be like, but like 4 guys maybe surrounding you and other guys are standing off waiting for their turn.
And
with this, like, you've got 2 guys with rocket launchers, a guy with a machine gun, and then like a guy with a shield, and then someone else trying to hit you, but they're all firing at once.
Right.
And you need to like spam gadgets as much as you can. But like when you get in, kind of like God of War, I guess, there's not that many bad guys in it. But once you get into the rhythm of the combat and use the abilities that you've got, then it can be really satisfying and fun when you take out a group of bad guys.
It's like the combat works. It's just you can't just mash buttons. You've got to like spend like a tiny bit of time getting used to it. But when you do, it's like it flows really nicely then with the gameplay. Like it probably feels good. Doing it.
But it wasn't just that. It was just like story, traversal. Obviously, we talked a little bit about that. Like the characters and like just the Easter eggs for all the Marvel stuff in there as well. Like just having Avengers Tower in there and like Spidey talk a little bit, like have a line about the Avengers, makes the world seem way bigger than it is. They're adding new content to it soon, in that it's a Fantastic Four themed thing. I don't know whether it's like his Fantastic Four outfit, like as a suit, or whether like the Baxter Building will show up or what. But like the Mary Jane sneaking parts in it were cool. Like you play as her and do some stealth stuff. Miles Morales is in it, and his scenes are cool. His interactions with Peter. And yeah, it's fun. The boss fights in it later on in the game. I won't say what or who or how. There are 2 boss fights specifically. Basically, the 2 before the very final one are interesting in a way that like most games, especially not superhero games, do what it did. And it's very cool. But yeah, it's something special, and I'm very happy that a Marvel game has made it out. And it's won by Insomniac.
I was gonna say, props to like Insomniac for doing it as well. Like, I've got a lot of love for Insomniac, and like the fact that they were able to just nail this, you know. It's kind of good.
There's definitely going to be a sequel. There was a mid-credits thing and a after-credits thing, which definitely sets up a sequel, which is potentially extremely exciting.
It's like, even without that stuff though, how well this game did and how well it reviewed and how it was received, it's gonna get a sequel no matter what. So it's cool that they've even put it in. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna bring out a sequel. We'll be working on it.
People weren't too excited about the DLC that came out. I really liked the first one with Black Cat. I'm working on the second one. Yeah, it's just awesome, and I hope like Marvel Games really like step up their.
Do you feel like this has set the bar now, and no game should be
for like superhero games?
Yeah,
like Arkham Knight was very good.
Okay, raise the bar, not set.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is raised the bar. Like, this is the next one to beat, and I'm wondering if Square Enix are worried about that.
Like, my theory, I think I talked about
but that
this
guy might be cancelled
on well, yeah, I think I talked about this on a podcast. I have a theory that maybe Square Enix saw a lot about what Insomniac were doing with the Spider-Man game, and maybe have pushed Avengers back so far because maybe they thought, actually, maybe we need to like reevaluate, because like what Insomniac have done is probably what we should look at doing. That's just a stupid theory, but it's interesting.
What if Marvel Games has a bigger vision for what they want to do with their characters and their stories and like their games, in that like maybe this Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy game come out and they are set in the same universe as Spider-Man. Like, it doesn't matter if they're different developers or something like that. If there's anyone that could do something like that, that idea of having multiple studios making different games under, you know, under one roof.
What, so like the...
But then I wouldn't know if like the Xbox version of Avengers could have Spider-Man in it, that sort of thing. I don't know about that. But,
yeah, that's a good point.
But if that's something that Sony could help pull off and have exclusive games, like if they could have an exclusive Marvel series of games on their console, like that would be an insane get for them.
Can you imagine like the cinematic universe, we start getting like individual Avenger characters games, and then that's why the Avenger game isn't coming out. Instead, they're working on someone else. They're working on Iron Man the game, you know, and then they're working on Captain America the game. Some other studio is, let's say Ubisoft. I like Ubisoft, so they can have it.
Ubisoft making an open world Captain America would be really cool.
Yeah,
because I mean that would basically just be Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Square Enix are working on an Iron Man instead.
No, I'd rather them sort out Avengers first.
I'd like the idea of having all the individual ones, like the movie did, have like a decent few Avengers, and then comes the Avenger game with them all in. Yeah. That'd be cool. Like
Hawkeye game would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
people love bow and arrows.
I do like bow and arrows.
I'm trying to think what developer would be good for Iron Man though, because it's got to be the Western stuff for Square Enix, right? You're not going to get like one of the Japanese studios to make an Iron Man game.
Well, like, just look at Just Cause. Just apply that to Iron Man. Done. Apply craze.
Avalanche could probably make an Iron Man game.
Yeah. Do you know who would make a good Iron Man game? Crytek.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like BioWare because of Anthem.
Oh, well, I mean...
You are basically Iron Man in that.
Bungie.
They are independent now.
Yep.
They split from Activision.
They did. They're going to go back to Microsoft. And Halo and Destiny are going to be in the same universe, and then there'll be crossovers.
Oh, man.
That feels like that feels like one of the things that's just like so cool, but like also the most predictable thing that they could do, right? Like it just feels like now that they're independent again, Microsoft are just going to be sniffing around like, guys, do you wanna throw your ball? Do you wanna?
It'll be exclusive to PS4 though.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting game of the year lists. I liked your categories. That was a lot of fun, actually, rather than like the traditional ones. I definitely want to get involved this year and play a lot more stuff that is like released this year.
Okay. We'll finish up Kingdom Hearts, so you can.
Yeah. I'll definitely play Kingdom Hearts 3 this year, 100%.
Yeah, do it by next podcast, because then we can talk about it.
I'm probably not going to be here for next podcast. I feel like if especially if Sean's done, I feel like you, Kiki, and Sean just need to be in the room and just need to splurge over it.
Maybe we should. Maybe that should be the separate thing that we were on about before.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could talk briefly about it on here, but if we got Sean and Kieran, I'll.
Yeah. I feel like you guys are, especially how long you've kind of like been ready for it. I feel like you.
Well,
guys
let's see.
need
It's going to be 4 days. It'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We record on Saturday. So like 4 and a bit days worth of it. We're not going to finish it by then. So if we can talk about our initial impressions, because I mean Sean's not going to be able to play much of it really. So we can talk about it a little bit on the podcast, and then maybe in a week or two, once we start finishing it, and
maybe just when you finish,
another cleanup,
get them over. Yeah,
then we'll do a big thing. Hopefully get Darian to progress on Kingdom Hearts 2, but we do need to make progress on Final Fantasy 10.
I feel like I've made progress in that though.
You did a bunch of stuff on 10 today, actually.
And I grind as well, quite a bit.
Yeah, you're in Bicanel Desert.
I killed a bunch of stuff. I killed a fucking giant worm. That was satisfying. He had 45,000 HP, by the way.
Yeah.
And he sucked Tidus in. Twice.
Yeah.
Why did he go for Tidus twice? Lucky I yielded him. And then he
regurgitated.
Thank you. I can't say that word.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Think
So
about it now.
you're in Bicanel Desert, which means you're going to get to some heavy plot shit soon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How far away am I from the end? Like, you don't have to give, like, a proper time. Like, I'm over halfway, right?
Yeah.
It might just be, like, the gaps in between playing, obviously, that...
You got like 1, 2, 3 more big areas after the desert bit, or 3 more traversal areas before you get to the end bit, which is like boss, but then like it's just like sort of a bunch of bosses in a row, but you'll be on the airship, so you can just select the next boss fight to go to, kind of thing. And then you've got that area. You have a little way to go, but thankfully we'll get to the actual spoilery bit that we've been on about for many months. Well, not soon, but yeah, you just got to keep playing.
I feel like Final Fantasy X is quite long.
Yeah,
it's a lot longer than I thought it was, which is cool.
Oh, you didn't check the times that you were on, did you?
I don't know what time I'm on now.
Yeah, it's been probably 50, 60, 70 hours, maybe more.
Yeah,
something like 80, maybe.
Quite big.
Yeah, it was one of the first PS2 games that I hit over 200 hours on. So that was fun.
Yeah, making progress on there. I enjoyed it earlier. That was fun.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get further on that, because I want you to do more Kingdom Hearts 2, because
yes, I want to play more Kingdom
then
Hearts
we'll actually
2.
get to some pretty cool story stuff once we start learning about it's some stuff in Hollow Bastion that is interesting with DTD. When you start learning about the DTD, it gets deep.
Alright,
but I'll be here, and Sean will be around, and we know what's going on in that story, so that's cool.
Until the Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out and you won't know anymore.
As long as it answers every question that we've got.
Do you think he'll do an MGS4? MGS4 did a fucking good job, man. It cleaned up everything.
Yeah, like I had nothing left to ask at the end of that.
Yeah.
Considering what the plot going into Kingdom Hearts 3 is,
which I have no idea about, technically.
I think I don't see a way of how they can get weird with it, because it's actually quite straightforward.
Okay.
in terms of like, here's my army, we're going to have a big war kind of thing.
Okay, it's that type of thing.
It's like, yeah, like the main bad guy is trying to recreate the Keyblade War again.
Okay.
Which is kind of similar to Metal Gear and Assassin's Creed and all the other weird big stories. Like, they're way similar than, like, you think. But, like, yeah, it's like him doing this. And we've seen in the trailers him with his army or with his group of people. Like, I don't know how it can get as convoluted as the other ones are, you know? But it's the end of his story, not Sora's, but the end of the big bad guy story. Yeah, it should be cool. It should have some resolve.
How long do you think a game is going to be?
I don't know.
50 hours?
Well, Kingdom Hearts 1 you can finish in about like 18, 20 maybe? Like 13 or 12 if you rush it and skip cutscenes. But like, I don't remember my first time playing Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2.
Yeah. So
I don't know how long that is. So it's, yeah, I don't know, it's hard to say really. But I'll be playing it a whole ton.
Yep. Yes, you will.
And we'll see where I get to on the next podcast, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's it from me.
And me.
Thank you everybody for listening. You can find us over on iTunes and Anchor and YouTube and lots of other places. If you go to aroundof.games.
Spotify too. We got added to 2 other things. Can't remember what, sorry. But there's 2 more platforms out there.
If you go to Anchor, does it give you links to all of the other places?
Yeah.
You can listen
There'll
to
be little icons.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, go check out all of those little icons sitting on there, and you can see where you can
where it's distributed.
Listen to this and leave comments or reviews, or if you want to give us a little comment or chat, you can find us over on Twitter. I am at Axelums.
And I am at Xandiarr Xandiarr.
So come say hi, and we'll say hi back, and then we can talk about some video games.
Yeah, come watch me stream on twitch.tv/Xandiarr and die a lot on Dark Souls.
Oh, on Dark Souls.
I'll probably be playing Dark Souls for a little while. I'm really enjoying this.
Are you getting back to Breath of the Wild soon?
Yes, probably. Like, I finished Smash now, so that like opens up that kind of area. Although I do need to practice Smash. I got a tournament in a few days. We'll see, but definitely Dark Souls, and we'll go from there. Wait, when is this coming up? Tuesday. I'm doing a 12-hour stream on Friday. Come hang out. I'll be starting at 12 o'clock GMT. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be doing a full playthrough of Crash 3. And that's all I've got planned. Cool. I have no idea what else I'm going to play. I'm going to, again, say maybe Dark Souls.
I got an idea, actually. Well, I'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.